it's all bullshit when you look at the actual ROAS, because it's a blended environment snapshot in time that's not omni-channel. I can make PMAX look amazing and 3x a company with a 1x YouTube. It doesn't matter what the in-app ROAS says. I work with a select amount of clients now, because unless I'm measuring outside of the platform, I can't work with clients. It's because they'll fire me when the company loses money. I've never been fired where ROAS looks like one, but then the client's 10xing and minting money. I've never been fired off of that. I'll get fired when I have 1,000 ROAS, but the client's actually losing money. So what's funny is when I paid it to them that way, it'd be like, why are you going to measure me against something that you're not going to fire me over? That's when it was like kind of like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, like why don't we actually measure the bank account rather than an arbitrary number that Google's? I'm like, or what I would say the other part too is like, why don't we just run 100% brand? That's got the best return.
Sure.
It's all bullshit when you look at the actual ROAS, because it's a blended environment snapshot in time that's not omni-channel. I can make PMAX look amazing and 3x a company with a 1x YouTube. It doesn't matter what the in-app ROAS says. You could benchmark it, but don't I'm not going to expect an omni-channel warm traffic targeting capability to look just as good as a first click cold. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I usually will use the third-party attribution that I will benchmark. That's been the best way, whether it's Wicked Reports, Triple Whale, I know, like ROAS, Northbeam, whatever it is. But usually what we'll look at is like, I'm expecting a benchmark performance inside of that campaign or inside of that channel, and then measure against that. So a good example, especially if you're going to ever run, Amazon in the future, that's really important to kind of get benchmarked now. And that's where I was saying it's going to be singular use case, and I have a different measurement tool for every client. That's why everything that I do is always so custom. But when you're talking about this here, for example, this was a scale of 150% this last year. It's June 1st, 23 to June 1st, 2024. Now, with this massive scale, we saw a great return. Our cost per acquire first-time customer only went up 68 cents. Excellent. Very, very clean. But it's not statistically possible to add 90% to the highest amount of spend in comparison to the total. It's more than 50%. And that 90% increase at a 1.2 didn't drag down to 3.4. So what I do is I look at benchmarking, and that's all that I really want to do and can do. Don't have that go below 1.2. Don't have that go below a 3.2. Don't have that one go below 0.75. And once that is benchmarked as to what should these say, then you can scale these up fairly evenly as to what we need to. Obviously, I'm going to scale Facebook more than Google, because this has a 3 and that has a 1. But when you scale 90, you can actually increase your efficiency, because all the people here are coming and going to there. All the people here are going there, which is why these stay the same. So you have to find the correlation in traffic, but benchmark where the minimums are that make it okay, and then scale it. Make sure that if these start to go down, is it going to be picked up anywhere else here? Or is this actually falling that it shouldn't be falling, and that's either a traffic or a creative issue? So those are things that I like to do is I don't look at ROAS. ROAS is a good indicator. The lower the ROAS, the better I am, the happier I am. Because top line is my blended ROAS needs to stay the same. But if I'm going colder, I'm expecting lower ROAS. If I'm going warmer, I'm expecting higher ROAS, but it's just not as scalable. Typically, this is how everyone measures clients wise. CPA, ROAS, like what am I getting, cost per conversion, blah, 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 and what is the return on ad spend. These are the metrics that we should be counting. This is something that all of these